Yeah, Ty. Ty, what do you mean 12 weeks? You're at a proctology university? For what? So they were so surprised at what you put up there that they want to examine you for 12 weeks. No, I'm not repeating this out loud because we're live on air right now. All right, Kev. All right, pal. All right, I don't want to know I don't want to know what's up there. Just keep it to yourself. All right, I gotta go. I'm on air. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Essential Wrestling Podcast. This is episode 27 of the Essential Wrestling Podcast. Like I just said, I'm repeating myself. This whole Tyler thing just got me flustered. Tyler's been up for 12 more weeks. We will be seeing him next weekend, though. Actually, we'll promote it real quick in the beginning. We'll do it again at the end. We have our Survivor Series special next Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. before the potential NXT TakeOver show. They have not mentioned anything yet about it. I have some thoughts on it coming up, but we definitely will be done before kickoff show starts with that. So episode 27, this is our, we got Triple H and The Undertaker 1. We have, I believe, a extreme upset victory in the main event. The Miz retaining. Thank you, Rocky. So this episode is going to be just as fun. With us, as always, down in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our first ever PWB champion, the living legend, John DeConnie. John, how are we today?
Always happy to be aboard. Having a good time already.
Good. Yeah, better time than Tyler. 12 weeks in a proctology. I don't even know what kind of, is that a university? Is that a college? I don't even know what kind of school that is. Up in the top right corner, we have John Smith. John, how are you today? We snuck one past you last night on the last-second field goal.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Jets are better off losing. I'm not that guy that would have rather see us lose, but hindsight, I'm glad we lost. But in the moment, I was hoping we would pull it off. And also, WrestleMania 27 was Triple H Undertaker 2. The first one was at 17.
Okay, gotcha. And then 3 was at very good. Okay, thank you. And on the bottom right-hand corner is a man that actually bottom left-hand corner, excuse me. A man that actually wears many, many hats. He is the founder of MenaceToBellTime.com that we promote all the time here. He is our senior AEW correspondent, our senior NJPW correspondent, and now actually starting the Monday after the Survivor Series. You can catch him. We have a spinoff here, ladies and gentlemen, the Essential Wrestling Podcast spinoff. The Daily Wrestling News Show will be hosted by Ryan Joy. Wake up every Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Get your morning cup of joy in you. Ryan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Looking forward to starting the DWNS or Daily Wrestling News Show or whatever rolls off the tongue. And also wondering if Tyler is going to be a professor or a student at this university that he's going to.
I believe he is the test subject. I believe what he was telling me is that they've never seen anything like this before, and people must be educated on it.
WWE used to say anything can happen in the WWE, so let's see.
And as we learned on Seinfeld, 1 in a million shot, Doc. Today's headlines, we have 2 huge championship matches set for Monday Night Raw next week. And for the first time ever on SmackDown, we heard this. And still women's champion Sasha Banks. Congratulations, Sasha. We'll get into that on SmackDown. Tommaso Ciampa gets back on his winning ways in NXT. Gary Mehaffy is back with us to discuss the NXT Heritage Cup from Thursday and everything NXT UK from overseas over in Ireland. Ryan Joy is going to have his little moment of joy here. Always here to discuss NJPW. Power Struggle was this past weekend. And we have our first main event. The main event for Wrestle Kingdom has been booked. So Ryan will be here to discuss that with us. I'm going to reveal number 20, my top 30 favorite WrestleMania matches. I accidentally spoiled it for the other gentlemen on this set. They know what match it is. Normally it's a surprise for them too. I kind of screwed up on that one, but I think you'll enjoy it. I think they got a good. They smiled about it, so this one was pretty good.
I've never seen it.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I've never seen the match.
You gotta watch it. It's not that long, but it's perfect. No pun intended. We make our picks for this week's upcoming shows, which is always presented by minutestobelltime.com and sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends, play against the universe. Included in those picks will be today's main event, which is we're going to be picking our winners for Impact's monthly pay-per-view Turning Point. We have 5 matches booked for that. I'm sure there'll be more to come after tonight's episode, but we'll get what we can to you. And you can always play along with us on ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Make sure the matches, I do a pretty good job making sure the site's updated at all times. But we're going to curtain jerk the show with the pay-per-view that we picked last week. That is AEW Full Gear. And what is being critically acclaimed as the greatest AEW pay-per-view in that company's short history. So I believe now this is pay-per-view, let's just say number 7. So this is the 7th time we're saying that this is the greatest pay-per-view that AEW has. They just keep on turning out great shows. I don't know why they don't do them more often, but I digress. John DeConti, we'll start with you real quick. We had the main event. Jon Moxley defended the AEW World Championship in an I Quit match against Eddie Kingston.
Yes, sir. So I go to the glasses here like Kornheiser. So there was a whole lot of brutality and plunder involved in this one. We had chairs, we had a barbed wire wrap hat, we had thumbtacks, we had isopropyl alcohol, I believe used for the first time in a match that I've seen. Unless maybe back in the day it was used to set tables on fire in ECW. I'm not entirely sure. But in the end, Eddie Kingston tried to use the Bulldog choke on Mox. Mox eventually got out of that. And with a random piece of barbed wire off the bat, Mox wrapped his arm in it, then put the Bulldog choke back on Eddie. And a completely dejected and depressed Eddie was forced to say, "I quit."
Yeah, no other option, and he knew it, and he just, your heart normally doesn't break for Eddie Kingston because he's, such a loudmouth, D-hole New Yorker, which is nothing wrong with that, he's from Yonkers, that's home base for me, but you can see that's the last thing he wanted to do. And then coupled with that, John DeConti, Kenny Omega, and Adam Page, the Eliminator Tournament final, took a one-winged angel from Kenny O, and Kenny was there on the entrance ramp. He actually went down to the ring after Mox won, and we're doing this again, which is completely fine with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Omega wanted part of what was going on in the ring, so he just kind of stayed on the ramp and they jawed back and forth politely, it seemed a little bit, but he had just gone through a hell of a match with Page. As you said, ended with a stalled one-winged angel because he had a little trouble getting his hand on Page's head to finish it up. But I just, obviously 28, 29 stars for that match. I mean, going all the way back to the previous Dynamite, just the fact that they put together the hype package. And I don't know. Obviously, Omega is considered, before AEW, the best guy who wasn't signed to one of the big leagues around. Mm-hmm. There's always been this vibe to him that's a little, 8-bit video games, a little old school. My heart beat so hard for that hype package being set to "Don't know what you got till it's gone." It just was so absolutely perfect, and then just a hell of a match followed, and I can't say enough good things about this whole night.
Yeah, and it was a surprise, I think, to everybody. Don Callis out of left field, he made it abundantly clear. He's like, I know there's a great line in wrestling, but Impact, I run Impact, so I can be here.
When he appeared on Dynamite and spoke with such bluster about Omega, I was like, oh man, are they overhyping Omega for the upset? Then when he showed up on the set and said, I was invited here by Kenny, I was like, okay, good, my pick is safe. He didn't have a guy from another company come sit in on commentary if he's going to lose.
Yeah, so that was one. Like I said, we got John Moxley, we got Kenny Omega. They fought maybe a little over a year ago. I want to say it was Moxley's first feud. He came in and jumped Kenny O right off the bat.
It was at Full Gear, 2019.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. There we go. A year ago. This month then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So going forward in the AEW Tag Team Championship match, the Young Bucks, Ryan. See, here's the thing. So real quick, we're gonna backtrack and we're gonna go WWE for a second to the greatest wrestling match of all time between Edge and Randy Orton, and they paid homage to a lot of people in that match by using their finishers, aka pedigrees. There was a bookend or rock bottom, whatever you want to call it. I call it a bookend, but and so forth. The FTR and the Bucks both shelled out a decent amount of old school finishers. I'm sure you have listed. I had them written down too. I have them in front of me as well.
Yeah, I mean.
But so is this the greatest tag team match of all time?
Well, it's hard because you have to compare it to the Omega Page and Bucks match from Revolution. But
Okay.
I mean, I sat in the stands. I paid my money to see the Young Bucks versus FTR. But I also saw the Steiner brothers. I also saw the Dudleys. I saw Gargano and Ciampa. I saw the Rock and Roll Express. I saw the Hart Foundation. Like you said, they paid homage to all of these teams that inspired them. And then I heard on a podcast, I think it was the AEW Unrestricted podcast a few weeks ago, Dash was talking about how, I say, no flips, just fists or whatever, no fist, whatever they're saying is.
Yeah.
But I can do all the flips. I just don't do it because, gimmick and all that. Well, we have confirmed that he can, in fact, flip.
Yep.
But it's not clear that he can land one. And that led directly to the finish, Matt Jackson getting the pin. And the Bucks are the executive vice president tag team champions.
Yeah, it's like I said. If the Bucks would have lost that match, they could never challenge for the AEW Tag Team Championships ever again. So we all kind of switched our picks real quick on that one. They can't go forever without having these belts on their resume. So also a quick shout out: Power and Glory's move was also used again in that match. The Powerplex has been living on in both companies, and unfortunately, due to wrestling rules, this was not a no disqualification match. They could not use a concerto to pay homage to Edge and Christian, or else they probably would have. Maybe they should have struck a 5-second pose afterwards.
Matt Hardy got to the concerto later.
Yes, Matt Hardy. Yes, he did. Darby Allin, congratulations to John Smith. Darby Allin defeated Cody Rhodes to win the TNT Championship after a series of roll-up reversals. Cody hit a crossroads from the top. Darby hit the coffin drop. They both kicked out of all their finishers, and it was a series of roll-ups back and forth. Darby Allin got the last one, got the 3 count. Cody got down on his knees, presented Darby the belt, and they got jumped post-match by Team Taz and all that, so that was fun. Fun part of the match, though, again, out of left field, Mike Chioda got the referee. That match, it seems like he's been the hot free agent referee. He's over all these AEW pay-per-views. Then John Smith was able to go right. MJF and Wardlow, they're both now members of the Inner Circle.
Yes, and before I get into that, let me just say, leave it to Cody to make the celebration after the match all about him. But I digress. So we get the MJF match. MJF trying to join the Inner Circle, and he somehow did it. It started off with quite the wrestling match, and then it started to turn into some heel on heel action, which is what I prefer to see. And then all of a sudden you get Wardlow out there with the diamond ring. Jake Hager brings out the baseball bat for Jericho, and then MJF pulls an Eddie Guerrero and flops back. Referee thinks Jericho hit him with the bat. Roll up, bing, bang, boom, 1, 2, 3. We got 2 new members of the Inner Circle. And I like to see this last for a while and not just be a little bit of a one-off. But I think eventually it ends up with MJF taking over.
Really? Okay. So they MJF outsmarted Jericho. I think that's where kind of Jericho, he kind of got upset by it. Then he was thinking about it. Okay, so this he's got the brains. He outsmarted me. I guess, we'll let him in. So they'll do that tonight. I got the graphic for it. We'll do that in a little bit. Going back to Cody real quick. He got his last name back. He can now be called Cody Rhodes. So now, Ryan Joy, we got to separate the records here. What is he? He's like 25-1 as Cody, and then 0-1 as Cody Rhodes.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
We technically had the trademark for his match against Dynamite, but he didn't use it. So,
I thought his last name was Dust.
What'd you say?
I thought his last name was Dust.
Right, middle name Star.
Star Dust? No.
Yeah, Stardust.
Yeah.
Starsman, I believe, is his first name. Yeah. That's Kenny Omega's name. Never mind, Starsman. Hikaru Shida, I thought there was a little bit of a shock here. She beat Nyla Rose with the Tomoshi, the kick that she does with repeated knee strikes. This was actually a pretty hard-hitting wrestling match. Again, they both had the match won. They both pulled up their opponent just to keep the match going. Thought that was pretty tough when Shida did it. Shida won with her knee worked over. She did a Falcon Arrow off the top on Nyla Rose. That was impressive. A lot of suplexes, body slams, another Falcon Arrow off the ground. She just showed some power in this match. And then after the match, Vicky Guerrero slapped Nyla and called her pathetic. Nyla was dejected. And then I guess we can. The irony of this whole thing is that Nyla Rose wore an outfit dressed for Mega Man, so we'll just leave the ironic part of that there. Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara in Elite Deletion, that was a lot of fun. Santana Ortiz got involved. Private Party got involved. The Hurricane, he was free. I guess he was still captured and in custody from the Impact when they did this match in Impact. So he's been stuck in the Hardy compound for 2 years, which was great how they brought him back for that. Gangrel showed up out of left field. That was fun. Matt Hardy got the win inside the Dome of Deletion. Sammy ended up being a bloody mess. Thank God, none of it was real. He didn't really crack his head on the cement floor, thank God. But let's just call it an end on that one before someone again seriously gets hurt. Orange Cassidy, what I believe was the match of the night. Orange Cassidy defeated John Silver was absolutely incredible. He won with the beach break. And then in the buy-in, Serena Deeb defeated Allison Kay to retain the NWA Women's Championship. So that was great to see both of those two in the AEW ring. Allison Kay now is, I guess, officially a free agent, so she can go wherever she wants. She did compete in the second Mae Young Classic, so she has a relationship with Hunter, and now she's going to be on AEW with the relationship between Corgan and all them. So shout out to my cousin Tom. How you doing, Tommy? Yeah, it's too much fun, buddy. We have a lot of fun on this show. Glad you're watching. So going into, actually, before we get into tonight, here are the standings. Ryan did a great job at 7-1. Good job, Ryan.
Wait, what?
Just kidding. Ryan nailed it all. Ryan went Henning. He went 8-0, got the 5-point bonus, nailed 23. He's catching up. Ryan missed a lot of shows in the beginning. So that's why he's a little bit down on the bottom. Plus, he went against the grain on the last show. So here are our standings for AEW specifics. And then, like I said, Ryan nailed the Henning. He evened up with everybody. Now everybody's tied at 2 on the Henning scoreboard.
How the hell do I end up at the bottom of that list?
Everyone's tied, so we did it alphabetically. That's alphabetically.
I'm kidding.
There we go. You should be on top of it. You have people like me and John Nicani who won they got the pay-per-views on the Wednesday nights. They weren't actually pay-per-views. Anyway.
And I'm also the first ever perfect pay-per-view
in PWP history. Very good. Yes, you are. Yes, you was. So going into tonight, there we go. Going into tomorrow night, Light the Fuse, Bring the Boom, Dynamite. As we mentioned, MJF and Wardlow, they will be inducted into The inner circle. That's what I thought it was going to say. All right, no tricks here. So that will be going on. Plus, we have a couple matches. Last night, they said or Saturday night, Dustin Rhodes and QT, they had some choice words for the Butcher and the Blade, and specifically the Bunny. The Bunny was using them for the fame and the riches, or I guess I'm not exactly sure how the story goes, but the Bunny's actually married to the Blade, so I don't know how QT and Dustin let that one, fall on deaf ears, but I digress. They're going to go for a bunkhouse brawl match. Ryan Joy is our senior AEW correspondent. Who do you got?
I'm going to say Dustin and QT because they've only ever lost to champions.
Oh, wow. There we go. John DeConnie.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Natural Nightmares as well. If you call for the gimmick match, you best win it.
That's a good philosophy on that. John Smith.
What's a bunkhouse brawl?
John DeConnie.
I'm not the one who called.
It's like a DQ match in some hay.
Yeah, they're gonna roll around in a bunkhouse. I don't know.
Whoever finds the needle in the haystack wins. Is that how it goes?
And the needle's gonna be on the pole the entire time. They're not gonna say it.
I'll go with the Butcher and the Blade.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Butcher and the Blade. Bunny interference. I mean, like, I guess let's just do bunny interference here. Why not? We have a match in the women's division. We have Ty Conti going against Red Velvet. I do believe they will each have people in their corner. I know Ty Conti will have Anna Jay of the Dark Order in her corner. Red Velvet, I am blanking on right now. Ryan, who do we got? Who's in her
Brandy
corner?
Rhodes will be in the corner.
Who is?
And I'll pick. I'm gonna pick Tay Conte.
I'm always gonna go with Ty Conti, 100%. John DeConnie.
Absolutely, she's got the great one in her corner. I'm going with Ty Conti.
There you go, John Smith.
Same. Conti.
I was trying to slow down. He's not coming back. He's not gonna know what we're talking about.
My son just walked in the house, so apparently his football practice didn't even happen. So he just walked home. So.
Oh, glad he's safe. Glad he's got the night off. There you go. Make sure he watches Impact tonight with you.
Yeah.
They own the night. Going forward, we have Matt Sydal and Brian Cage. I don't know. I think these guys had a match earlier or something. Sydal fought somebody, I believe, recently. Ryan, right? Somebody on AEW.
Kingston.
Kingston, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, he's got Brian Cage. This is a tall order, not a dark order, but a tall order. John DeConnie, who do you got?
Well, do we know if the FTW title is on the line here? Because that makes a big difference.
It's not.
Just kidding.
All right, John Smith, who do you got?
I got Cage.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cage as well. Ryan, you going to make this unanimous?
I can't think of a scenario where Sydal wins.
I don't either. Is he even under contract yet? I know he's fighting a lot for AEW, which is great. I like Mike Sydal. But is he under contract with them? Or
I haven't heard one way or the other, but he's been on a series of matches. He's wrestling on Dark all the time. So
yeah, I know. I guess we got to tune into the Daily Wrestling News Show that'll be starting on November 23rd at 10 a.m.
There you
We'll
go.
find out if Matt Sydal has signed with AEW. So going forward, and then the last match we got. I'm sorry. We have last match booked for Dynamite. We have a rematch from the Eliminator tournament, the first round. Brother versus brother. We got Penta Zero Miedo versus Rey Fenix. Phoenix got the decision the first time around, then had the forfeited spot due to injury. Penta went on to fight Kenny Omega and lost in an absolutely incredible match. But they're going to go at it again. There's dissension, I guess, in Camp Kingston. I don't even know what their stable name is. The family? I don't even know. These two just haven't been getting along lately. I know they're brothers. Brothers fight. So I guess, I don't know. John Smith, who do you got?
I'll go with Phoenix again. I wrote him last time.
I'm going to go Phoenix as well. I think they're going to ride this that Penta's never going to be able to beat him. I think this is going to be one of those things. I don't say like a Ray and Eddie type deal, but I don't know. Ryan Joy?
I'll go Penta just so they even it up. But also, I mean, are we going to get Pac back here?
Yeah, I missed Wednesday. I missed the interview. In-laws were in town. I don't mean to blame them for that. I blame them for a lot of stuff, but I won't blame them for that.
Well, he didn't say much, but he has a presence. He'll be coming back at some point.
All right. John the County?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Penta as well. I agree with Ryan.
All right. And then also with AEW on Dark tonight, we just want to bring it to your attention. There's a team that's making their AEW debuts. They're called TNT. Apparently, they are Bubba Ray Dudley's nephews. From what I was told, Ryan gets it.
Yeah, that's right. They are Bubba Ray's nephews.
They're Bubba Ray Dudley's nephews.
TNT. I thought it was kind of bold that they came in with that name.
Yeah, I guess the network special. Wait, didn't like ECW towards the end? Didn't they have a network thing with Cyrus or Callis? Didn't Callis have a tag team that was named after the network?
No. Parenting fail. I took him to the wrong field. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
All right, John Smith, have a day, pal. Okay. So we'll leave John off for a second. He's got to go out and get some groceries, take care of some stuff. We're going to jump to SmackDown. How about that? So starting off, Ryan, you actually, like I said, you wrote the Body Slam Brigade article on Sasha and Bailey and Sasha Banks and Bailey. They have the next chapter in their feud, and for the first time ever, like it's been in the show, and still champion Sasha Banks.
Yeah, and a really good victory, I thought. Great match. Sasha Banks ended up kicking out of both the Bailey to belly and the elbow drop. Which is the elbow drop. Kicking out of the elbow drop should bring everybody back to WrestleMania 5. I don't know why it wouldn't. But Sasha locked in the bank statement, got the submission victory, walked up the ramp, and we found out why Carmella's untouchable.
Yes, we did. She jumped Sasha Banks, hit her with the X Factor or Bella Buster or whatever that move will now be named that Carmella is taking it over.
I don't think we really discovered why she's untouchable, but she made a statement of some kind.
Yep. Yeah, but then, as I said, Bailey, she's just been tap happy lately. All those non-title matches, all those times you tap the Asuka, whatever, Sasha Banks got her. So congratulations to Sasha Banks. She will move on and fight Asuka at Survivor Series. I don't foresee either of those two having a champion match before that. Backstage, both Kevin Owens and Caleb Braxton kind of took some shots at Jey Uso. Kind of funny. Jay really didn't think so. Roman definitely didn't think so. Roman felt the disrespect, sent Jay to take care of Kevin Owens. Not exactly what he did. He beat Kevin Owens. Roman's music hit, and then right when Roman's music hit, Jey Uso headbutted Kevin and Jimmy's right square in the nuts. Followed by an Uso splash, and then you have a happy tribal chief at the end. So that's how the show ended. So SmackDown, Team SmackDown, a little bit of disarray right now. The first two guys that qualified for their team, their main event of the show, are taking low blows and disrespecting families. So that's a little bit rough right there. But they got two new members as well. Baron Corbin defeated Rey Mysterio. And then Seth Rollins defeated Otis. Now, all of this is now tying into Buddy Murphy. Because Murphy was at hand for both of them. Kind of caused a distraction with Aaliyah to help Ray lose John DeConnie. Then comes out and then he helps Seth Rollins win.
Yeah, I mean, not overtly, but perhaps just his presence on the ring apron. So we were left wondering at that point until Seth found him backstage and asked all about it. What happened out there? Am I seeing what I think I saw? Basically, are you back? Are you back? And Murphy admitted, Messiah, disciple. And seemingly things are okay between those two. But then Aaliyah comes in kind of like, well, what the hell? What are you doing back with him? What's going on? And Murphy, I think he played it very well. He kind of told her to calm down and alluded to, without coming out outright and saying, don't worry, I'm going to screw him over. But, for now, just trust me. I know what I'm doing. And then he tossed in, it's for the greater good.
Yeah,
so,
Yeah, that's the thing.
So is he with Rollins, or is he preparing to screw Rollins? It's still up in the air, but for the first time, this little group dynamic is interesting to me.
Yeah,
Jake Roberts used to say, "Trust me."
Yeah, Jake Roberts trust me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as always with the Mysterios, as the world turns, to be continued as they keep going. How long is it? Okay, PWI feud of the year. Like, this has to get it right. This is definitely just by longevity. Just this is never ending. This has started right after WrestleMania, right, with COVID. This has got to be the feud of COVID.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Then on the women's side, Ruby Riott with new hair, she cut her hair short. Apparently, there were too many long-haired, green-colored long-haired women in wrestling, so she cut her hair a little bit shorter. She defeated Natalya and Zelina Vega. I guess Natalya is fighting and fighting. She wants to be on this team. They gave her no chance. Threw the sharpshooter on Zelina, and then Ruby Riott came with a crossface. The second Natalya let go of the move, Zelina tapped and Ruby won. So I think this is going to be an ongoing joke. This is going to be fun, and I think Natty is eventually going to get on a Survivor Series team. I do believe it was 2016 where she was supposed to be the coach and then jumped Nikki Bella to actually captain Team SmackDown. So if Natty wants to be on a Survivor Series team, she has ways of making it happen. And then going from SmackDown to Raw, there were no SmackDown matches promoted. So we'll go right to Raw. Jonathan Connie, I'm going to keep going with you here because you nailed it 4 out of 5. There was a second chance triple threat match that allowed Matt Riddle to qualify for the Raw Men's Survivor Series team. They defeated Elias and Jeff Hardy with Bro Derek. So you went 4 out of 5.
And I still see a pathway to perfection here.
Okay.
McIntyre and Sheamus keep crossing each other backstage, and right now everything's buddy-buddy, but no one is ever friendly with Sheamus for very long. So I have a feeling eventually someone steps on somebody else's toes. Maybe they fight, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it somehow works McIntyre onto the team because Sheamus either has to give up his spot by losing or gets hurt, gets quote unquote hurt, and McIntyre slides in, and I get my 5 for 5.
So after the Riddle fight, I guess AJ Styles called a team meeting in the middle of the ring with all 5 members. Now that the team is whole, you want to do the nicknames? I know you want to do the nicknames, right?
Of course I want to do the nicknames. So of course they're not getting along at all. But Riddle, who has lost his first name, he's got the answer to all their problems. Nicknames, bro. So we have AJ Styles is skipper.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Braun Strowman is the mongoose. Keith Lee is Broly. Sheamus is Fireface. And Riddle named himself Dopey.
That makes sense.
I thought for sure Sheamus was going to say, "What's your code name, Matt?"
Yeah. So after all this, AJ Styles went to Postman Pierce, and he booked the match. I figured, they described it the way they wanted to describe it. To me, I would have just booked it as let's go in-team scrimmage with practice. All right, 2-on-2. So you got Riddle and Keith Lee, and then you got Strowman and Sheamus. They went at it, and Strowman and Sheamus got upset over tagging in each other out without the other person's permission. Sheamus ended up kicking him. Riddle rolled up Sheamus, and that's how the match ended. So Riddle went 2-0 last night. Showed up 2 wins for Riddle, Brian. So Team Raw is now complete, along with the men's. This is what we have right now, Survivor Series men's. Here we go. We got AJ Styles, Keith Lee, Sheamus, or maybe I should have put the nicknames up there. Then you got Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, Corbin, and Rollins, and they still have 1 spot left to be determined. Get the feeling it could be Lars Sullivan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Lars, Duke emoji. But I digress. Okay, so with the women's side, they had 2 women's matches involving the Raw Women's Survivor Series team, more specifically the Raw Women's Tag Team Champions. Right, Shayna Baszler defeated Lana in pretty short order, kind of dominating fashion here. Then Asuka defeated Nia Jax via disqualification, and then everything just broke down.
Yeah, I'm looking here. Look at the time. Shayna Baszler defeats Lana 1 minute 51 seconds. I mean, this was not a situation where I had picked Lana to win the match, but yeah, that was pretty convincing. And then later in the night, Nia Jax had her match with Asuka, which is a WrestleMania match. That's what the commentators told me anyway. So maybe look forward to that in a few months, 20 weeks, I think. So Asuka gets away with a disqualification victory, I think, here. And Lana, 8 weeks and running. I'm gonna go in right now though and say, spoiler alert for the Saturday show, but Lana is the sole survivor. That's my pick.
No, that's going to be a topic of conversation because the thought has crossed my mind. We're going to welcome back in John Smith here. John, how'd everything go, pal? Did Johnny make you practice okay?
I avoided the dog crap on the sidewalk this time. And yeah, and Lana, a sole survivor, I'd love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen, but I'd love to see it.
Well, it's that or she's eliminated first.
I'm sorry, Ryan, what was that?
It's either that or she's eliminated first.
Yeah, well, it's exactly. If she even makes it. Like I said, the whole point is that Nia doesn't even want her there. After she put it through the table for the 8th time, I believe the exact quote was, you don't belong here. You're going to drag us down. Just quit. So, like I said, Ruby Riott qualifies. She joins Bianca Belair. SmackDown is taking their sweet old time putting their Survivor Series team together. They're not as bad as what NXT did last year, and that's announcing out of both teams one person. Up until I believe they announced the other 9 on the pre-show. Anyway, so that is where we are with the women. So, and then as of right now, in the champions matches, we're going to directly look at the bottom part of the screen right now, where it says the New Day against the Street Profits in the Tag Titles versus Tag Titles Champions match. The New Day's got to put them on the line next Monday night. And John Smith, you came back just in the nick of time. This is your area. This is the Hurt Business. This has happened before, specifically with the Raw Tag Team Championships. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose one year, they lost them right before Survivor Series to The Bar. That was in 2017. In 2018, Seth Rollins had to defend them by himself after probably the greatest timed heel turn of all time by Dean Ambrose. Left Rollins to defend the tag titles by himself. And AOP took him. So, Ryan, I'm sorry, John Smith. I got to take that crap off. That is backwards. John Smith, you're in a weird spot right now. I apologize for that, but who do you got in this?
I'm going to go with the Hurt Business, not just because I love them, but because Cedric needs something to legitimize him. Shelton is Shelton Benjamin. He's been around for years. MVP is his track record. Bobby Lashley's the current U.S. champ, and although he can't talk, he makes up for it in the ring. But Cedric, yeah, sure, he's good, but all he does is take the pin. All he does is lose, and even since coming into the Hurt Business. So I'd love to see them take it and then win at the Survivor Series also.
Yeah, Hurt Business versus Street Profits. I think that would be pretty good. I don't think they cross paths at all when the Street Profits were on Raw, John McConney.
I do not believe so. Yeah, I'm gonna have the the New Day retaining here, only for the fact, as much as I would love to see Cedric and Shelton wear the white gold, if you will, only because I'm still holding out hope that Bobby Lashley's going to pull double duty and we're going to get Retribution versus the Hurt Business also at Survivor Series.
No. Ryan Joy, who do you got?
I'll go Hurt Business. John Smith said it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Hurt Business as well. I figured, if one's gonna be there, that'd be fun to get everybody involved. I'll get all three. Kind of like with the with last year's Survivor Series with Undisputed Era. They were in full force last year at the Survivor Series. I know Kyle and Bobby, they were on the pre-show and they're champions, but they were in the champions match. Roddy won his champions match, and then Adam Cole defended the NXT. So it's fun when you see factions in full force with gold. So I'll go with I'll go to Hurt Business on the Dude just for fun. I'm not going to be shocked or upset at all if the New Day retain because I think either one of those matchups against the Street Profits would be really good.
Al, I want to dig into what you just said there because I think you're saying just by following your logic through, are you predicting MVP is going to be the WWE champion?
No, he's just going to be at ringside for both of them. That's all. He's going to be at ringside.
Be the 24/7 champion.
You be the 24/7 champion. And then actually before that, with the Hurt Business, Bobby Lashley had an impromptu United States Championship match. He beat Titus O'Neil in quick fashion. Then he had the promo before that against Sami Zayn. Something dawned on me. Something's missing with this. Do you think we didn't hear from Sami this past Friday? Maybe next Friday. Do you think Sami calls up Lashley's sisters again? Do you think Lashley's sisters will be involved in this? I believe their names were Kathy, Jessica, and Francis. I watched it today just to make sure it was Sami who did it, and boy, was it. That's right. I forgot this already happened once 2 years ago at Money in the Bank 2018. Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley.
Enough with the family stuff.
Come on, Francis was bullied. Anyway. Bobby Lashley was a horrible brother. I guess that was the whole point of that. Anyway, so, and then going forward, John Smith, as we mentioned, Matt Riddle lost his first name. Apparently, Vince McMahon, we're changing syllables here, or emphasis on syllables here. It is now Mustafa Ali. And I know you don't watch Star Wars. I believe there was a Mustafa system in the one with Vader turns Vader. Anyway.
Mustafa.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you. That's all I've been thinking about, Star Wars. But anyway, yeah, so Mustafa Ali and Ricky, hell of a match, by the way, between those.
Yeah, awesome match. Cool little, cool submission move that he put on him at the end. I don't even know what it's called in real life or what he calls it, but, I know that I couldn't do it. But, he cut a nice little promo beforehand or, earlier in the show. And, I don't know why he's insisting on the Mustafa instead of Mustafa. It's like we speak English. That's how we pronounce it. We've always been pronouncing it that way. But, I guess he's got to have some sort of, thing about him. Like, oh, you don't even say my name right, Yeah.
So he's got to tell the ring announcer, because the ring announcer, what's his name, Mike Rome, you got to tell the ring announcer that it's Mustafa now. And Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe was still calling him Mustafa, but anyway. Then the 24/7 championship was all over the place. We had 4 people win the title who've never won it before. So congratulations to Eric Tucker, Grand Metalik, and Lindsay Dorado. All brand new 24/7 champions that lasted pretty much less than 30 seconds. Tucker probably had it for a minute.
Yeah, he had 2 reigns.
What's that?
He had 2 reigns.
He did have 2 reigns, exactly. He had the roll. That was pretty funny. R-Truth ended up winning it in the end. He got the AA on, I believe it was Lindsay Dorado, the tribute to his childhood hero, John Cena. Amazing.
Yeah.
44. Yeah, he's up to 44. He's doubled Raven. No, Raven was 26, 23. He's about to double Raven, which is pretty crazy. Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, bottom line, Alexa Bliss, he means me or him, and she chose him, so that's going to start up soon. In the beginning of the show on Miz TV, it sounded like the pressure was really getting to Randy Orton. He came out guns a-blazing. He was just fired up that it almost sounded he was more paranoid. Night goes on. He comes to find out that he actually has to defend the WWE Championship. So we have a WWE Championship match next Monday night. Drew McIntyre is getting his crack here. And just like I mentioned with the New Day, this happens all the time. But this has happened 2 years in a row that the WWE Championship changed hands right before the Survivor Series, literally the week before. The first time in 2017, it was the first time they were doing a champions versus champions match. And I felt kind of bad for Jinder Mahal because he was the one that challenged Brock Lesnar when he was done. He's like, I want a champion versus champion match. He wanted his brand supreme. My belt. And then I'm losing it to AJ Styles 2 weeks before. So he didn't even get to the half the match that he started all this. So, and then the year after that, actually, what happened? What AJ did The Jinder Mahal happened to him. That was when Daniel Bryan low blow heel turn. Daniel Bryan became WWE champion, and then he went on to lose to Brock Lesnar. So it's happened twice before. John Smith doesn't happen. Why do we keep force to have it? John Smith, is this going to happen again?
No, because Jinder Mahal wasn't champion, and because Brock Lesnar isn't the other champion. So, they can put something together. The Brock Lesnar, he would probably refuse to work with Jinder Mahal. That's probably why that happened. And the AJ thing is probably because it was AJ the previous year, so they didn't want to do it 2 years in a row. Yeah. So there's really no reason for them to do it this time. Randy Orton has had the belt for not long enough for this to go back to him. So, yeah.
All right, Ryan Joy.
Well, I think this has been intricately set up here because I don't think they want Roman to face either Drew or Randy. I'm picking the Miz in this match.
Wow, John DeConnie.
Wow, I was going to say Randy. I'm going to say Randy retains, but I have to admit I did not even think of what Ryan just laid out there.
Now, Miz is in the back. Miz is always going to be in the back of my mind with that briefcase. I don't see it now. I don't know when I see it with him. Actually, somebody actually came up with a really interesting idea. Somebody was booking some kind of fantasy WrestleMania card, and he had Miz versus Morrison for the Money in the Bank briefcase in a ladder match. Like they put it back on the ladder, like just those two go. So I thought that would be pretty cool. But I'm going John DeConnie with the piggyback off what you said earlier. I think this is where Sheamus gets involved.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
Sheamus gets involved. He kicks McIntyre to cause. So now that'll get McIntyre out of the WWE title picture, so he can concentrate on Randy and the Fiend, who's been AWOL and all. He was AWOL last night.
Yeah, we didn't even get a
MIA. And then we can go forward with McIntyre and Sheamus. So I think that's kind of where that is going with that. So, gentlemen, speaking of Drew McIntyre and Sheamus, those sound like UK names. So we're going to make that nice, smooth transition to Gary Mehaffy and the NXT UK. Gentlemen, go say hi to your loved ones, go to groceries, maybe pick up Johnny at football practice. Watch out for watch out for dog poop. Gary, top of the morning to you.
Evening, how are you? Very smooth transition to NXT UK. What a professional.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, the thing is, I kind of did that half intentionally. One, because it was fun, but two, can we talk for a quick second here about Drew McIntyre and Sheamus? What is their history here?
Well, they go way, way back. The first time I ever saw them must be about 15 years ago on a local show here in Belfast. I mean, they came up, obviously, Sheamus through it over in Ireland, but Drew was involved a lot with Irish Whip Wrestling, was an old promotion here in Ireland, and he had involved with them, and they knew each other back from then, so they got signed around about the same time. They've come up through the system over here together, so they have known each other and are friendly. There's been a lot of Instagram posts over Halloween when they were out and about with their partners and stuff, so they are very tight friends. So there is a proper history there.
It's going to be fun, but like I said it last week, it's just so weird because you have the superest of baby faces that there is right now, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus is just a flat-out D-hole, and it's just, it's going to happen, I guess. I mean, I don't think it's ever, I don't think it ever happened, but, McIntyre was always a heel when he first came in, and then when he turned face, they were on separate shows, so I guess when you have two really close friends working together, you're going to have some really great matches.
Yeah,
so
that'll be good. It'll be good.
So going forward with NXT UK, Garrett, I was talking to the pre-show. I was joking. I don't even know if I want to talk about the Heritage Cup tournament anymore.
Yeah. We'll just talk for 10 minutes about other things, about Alf there, maybe for 10 minutes, and then, that'll be.
A-Kid has eliminated my personal favorite in this, Noam Dar. He got a submission in the 6th round. They were talking overtime. I'm like, okay. Yeah. This would be pretty cool if this is the match that, this would be the one that we'd be kind of to do it with. If they had to go to a 7th and sudden death rules round. Was not to be. A-Kid with a pretty sweet submission on Noam. He couldn't get out of it.
No, I mean, it was brilliant. I mean, you have to say the whole way along, I mean, from back when A-Kid got signed, he was all high flyer and everybody knew what he was. But from the get-go of this, it was such fast-paced grappling clinic. There was a lot of tight wrestling going on the whole way through, and it was really toss of a coin through until the very end. And as you say, I did think we were going to end up in overtime, and we got close to it. I think it was 2 minutes 12 in the sixth round, so it was close to it now.
Yeah, it's a shame. That was just absolutely. It was an incredible show. Both guys, absolutely incredible showing. Noam Dar got a submission in the third. A-Kid with a pin in the fourth, and he's going to the finals. A-Kid is there, and he's going to be going up against the winner of the other semifinal match. You got Bomber Dave Mastiff and Trent Seven. Both of these guys, NXT UK originals. They were both in that original championship tournament that Tyler Bate won all those years ago. That was like, 3-4 years ago already?
Yeah.
So who do you got in this one? I know we kind of like half discussed it a couple of weeks ago, so let's refresh everybody's memory here.
I mean, I think as much as I would love to see Trent Seven take it, I think we might have another quick maybe knockout win for Dave, setting up the big bomber against this sort of the high-flying technical A-Kid in the final. So I think Mastiff will take it.
Yeah, I think it'll be another knockout too. So he knocked out Connors in the third, right?
Yeah. So
maybe like in the fifth, like give Trent Seven a little more leeway here, but then eventually get knocked out.
Yeah, that's what I do think will happen. Either it'll be a straight sort of knockout, or actually somehow Connors could maybe get involved by coming back sort of to try and stir things up, but in the middle of it. But I do think he'll have him knocked out. Like go for that.
All right. So that was the main event of the night. It's Norm Thor. I can't believe that. It's just I was so excited. Oh my God! I just had this thing. I thought it was the layup. I thought he had it.
Yeah.
Early in the night, actually it was the first show of the night. In a 6-man tag team match, Gallus defeated Sam Gradwell and Pretty Deadly. Hit the best of the bells. Is that the name of that?
Yeah, all the best for the bells. Yeah, it was Joe Coffey coming back, looking very much like when Pete Dunne came back. Joe looks like he was always quite well built, but he's ripped now. Like so, it was a lot built around him, obviously for the comeback as leading the group. And they had a very good showing, a very strong showing, and it's obvious. And actually, I was surprised that it obviously they're setting them up to be kind of the faces of the tag team division, obviously literally and figuratively. So, excuse me. So all by my, you can kind of see that that's the way it'll go. So here's hoping. And with that, everything is frozen at my end. I don't know if it's me or if it's you, but things have frozen. There seems to be a bit of an outage. So if I'm going on my own for a little minute, we can keep going. Oh, are you back?
Yeah, I'm having some Wi-Fi issues right now. I'm just sitting there watching this whole thing up. How about that? Remember that guy?
Yeah. Oh, you kind of. Or in there, you're
I'm sorry, Gary. Just keep on rolling if you can. I don't know. Like, it seems like everybody's back. I know it's me, but there we go. So, are we going forward? Or I couldn't hear what you were saying. I mean, I couldn't hear you.
I filled for about 5-10 seconds just to go. And what are we going to do? No, but it was good to see the Gallus being back. I say with Joe Coffey being in, and he really is. Looks as if they're going to focus a lot around him and around Wolfgang and Mark and the tag team side of things. So.
Yeah, I think you said it a couple of weeks ago. He might be next in line. I know he's already had a takeover match with Walter, but I mean, right now, I don't even know who you go with to fight him again. I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they could go with him, and you had obviously, as we said last week, you had Rampage Brown being introduced as well. He's quite a big name here in the UK, so Rampage is one, probably not right now for Walter, but certainly down the line, I could see them being paired together. So, it'd be interesting to see, but I think that's how we'll go. So,
all right. So there was a women's division match. Also, I didn't hear a thing. I blacked out again, so I have no idea. I hope you kept the conversation going without me, but there was a women's division match on that card as well. Ginny defeated Aaliyah James with the rolling Liger kick. And then the bleep show began because then Jenny started spouting some words off about Piper Niven. So here came Piper, and then Kaylee Ray. She's not below stirring the pot either, so she came out to get Piper Niven all fired up. So they're gonna get the rematch. They're gonna go at it again in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks time. Piper and Kaylee Ray. I think was really good because it was great to see. I know a few people who I know are really friendly with Aaliyah James, and it was lovely. And it's great to see her getting the opportunity. But obviously, at the minute, with the focus being on Jenny, I was surprised. I figured she might call out Kaylee Ray and thought, okay. But when she went for Piper Niven and called her out, it was very interesting. I mean, it was an interesting way to go. I mean, all three of them were there. In fact, the four of them, with Aaliyah James still being involved at one point too. Having them, with she got the Mitsubishi driver, but with the four of them being there, it's been good. There's been a lot of good development for the women's side, so it'll be interesting to see it coming.
Yeah, then they're gonna step up the notch too. They got a falls count anywhere match in 2 weeks, so we'll discuss it next week. That's gonna be hard hitting. Those two, that was great the first time. I'll see it again anytime.
Yeah, it really will. It will be a hard hitting. It will be a knockdown drag out effort. There's no doubt.
And then this gentleman who I'm not too familiar with, but Rampage Brown. You mentioned his name last week. This week he apparently, I guess, he had an easier time signing a contract than Heath Slater's been having an impact. They signed him right away, and I guess he's got his first matchup coming this Thursday.
Yeah, it is.
Rampage?
Yeah, Rampage Brown. I mean, he's a previous, he's an ex Progress Wrestling world champion and ICW tag team champion, actually with Ashton Smith a couple of years ago. So he has a good heritage. He's got a good background. And a lot of the local UK guys have been really pleased to see him coming in. I expect that he'll get focused on quite a lot, and we'll get a pretty big push. He's a good guy and a good wrestler now. So
yes, even on TV, Dave Mastiff patted him on the back. He's like, it's about time.
Yeah, he'll do well. And he's a big boy. He'll fit in well. So
good. All right, well, Gary, I apologize about the technical difficulties. Like I said, I think you carried us pretty well, like you always do. You carry this segment every single week, so we do appreciate you staying on. We got you on a little bit later tonight. I apologize about that as well.
Okay.
You have yourself a great night. Enjoy NXT UK and all the other wrestling this week. And always glad to have you, Gary. Thank you very much.
Glad to be here. I'll speak to you soon, buddy. See you soon.
See you. So bringing back in Ryan Joy right now. Ryan, that was some awful, maybe overseas connection. I don't know. It seemed like it was just him that I had the problem with. Hope we have some better luck with you.
Yeah, because I can't dance like he does. I need you to lead me here. My own show doesn't start for a week or so.
Yeah, that's right. So we got, like I said, let me get the. No, it's not. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why that graphic's not working. So.
Yeah.
There's New Japan. There you go.
If I can see your eyes move, that's how I know the connection is good.
Oh, yeah, perfect. I couldn't get the New Japan logo, but I just wanted to promote your show again in 2 weeks on Monday the 23rd. The Daily Wrestling News Show starting 10 a.m. Monday through Thursday. It's going to be 4 days, just like the Daily Show at night on Comedy Central, Monday through Thursday. Except that night, it will be in the morning. Get your morning cup of joy every day.
It probably won't be as funny as the show either, but
what's that?
We're gonna try. It won't be as funny, but we're gonna try.
Ryan, you've been coming out of your shell a bit. You've had some gems the past couple of weeks, so I think you'll be good. I'm happy. I can't wait to watch. I hope sometime I'll be on. That'd be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Ryan, I gotta kind of throw you under the bus here. You said, you never say never, and last week you said never, and Jay White proved it was possible.
Yeah. So Power Struggle was a pretty good show. If people want to go check it out, but yes, as Al's alluding to, for the first time ever, the briefcase has changed hands. So Jay White defeated Kota Ibushi. He cheated, of course, because that's what Bullet Club guys do. Feet on the ropes. Yeah. So Jay White wins the briefcase. He came out at the end of the night. Naito successfully retained against Evil. He came out and said, "I'm not wrestling on the first night of Wrestle Kingdom. I will wrestle in the main event of the second night. You do what you got to do, Naito." So with that, Naito did a little interview. He told New Japan management that he wanted to face Kota Ibushi on the first night. So even though Kota Ibushi lost to Jay White, Naito has challenged him for a match on the first night of Wrestle Kingdom. So we're going to get both matches. So if Naito retains the title on night 1, he will face Jay White on night 2. If Ibushi wins the title, he will face Jay White on night 2. So January 4th and 5th is starting to take shape. We also had Okada defeat the Great Okan, and Will Ospreay issued a challenge to Okada for Wrestle Kingdom. So that'll be on night 1, January 4th.
And that's been building, right? That's been going on. That's what you called that last week, right?
Yeah, that's right. So that kind of started back in the G1 when Ospreay and Okada had their match together, and B. Priestley came out, and that was the debut of the Great Okan. And Will did his turn during the G1, and then built to this match, and then ultimately we'll have that match at Wrestle Kingdom. By the way, Ospreay said everything in English. At the end, Okada said, "You said a lot. You did it all in English. I have no idea what you said, but I heard you say Wrestle Kingdom and both our names." And he said, "I'm good with that." So also on that same card, Minoru Suzuki did lose the Never Openweight Championship, and I realized that I put my hair on the line.
Yes, he did. That's right.
So I'm just
grow your hair like this,
to
right?
grow in a little bit, and then I can do the Suzuki haircut.
So yeah, a great night of power struggle from what you're saying, and what I know you wrote about it on the Body Slam Brigade this past weekend. It was all about power struggle and Full Gear. But going forward, that was a great night. Going forward, we got 2 tournaments going here. We got the Best of the Super Juniors here, right?
Yeah. So it starts Sunday, by the way. Best of Super Juniors. You can see it runs through December 11th. It is just like the G1. So you've got these 10 guys. They're all going to face each other. And then on the last night, the 2 highest point earners will compete to win the tournament. It should note that Taiji Ishimori is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Hiromu Takahashi, he's on the top row there. He is the former champion. While it's not really confirmed, you can expect that the winner of this tournament will face the champion at Wrestle Kingdom. Another couple of things on this. Robbie Eagles, for all intents and purposes, is making his return to New Japan in this tournament. So he's in the bottom middle there. He is a former ally of Will Ospreay. So whether or not he decides to continue his alliance with Chaos or join up with Will, we'll see. Time will tell on that.
All right. Any early predictions here? I mean, everyone's at zeros right now. I know we did this for the G1, so we'll do it for here, and we'll do it for this the tag league, the World Tag League. That's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm going to say that it's probably going to be Hiromu Takahashi, because he is far and away one of probably the top guy. He needs to be on the Wrestle Kingdom card. So I think this will set up Hiromu and Ishimori for the belt at Wrestle Kingdom.
That would be absolutely incredible, and I wouldn't argue that. And I don't like to bet against the LIJ, so he would be. I got 2 picks. He's one of them. What about Sho? It seems like he's just been. Every time we talk this or bring up his name, he's doing something spectacular, and he's flying solo right now. His partner's injured, and he's shining. Like, they both got ripped. Like he's put on some muscle, and he looks good.
And he should be pretty well rested. We haven't seen him in quite a while, not since he relinquished the tag titles, the junior heavyweight tag titles, over the summer. So he's well rested. It's going to be a good tournament for him. I would expect that Sho if he's not in the finals, he's going to be one of the finalists.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to be one of those MVP of the tournament candidates.
Good for him. And then we also got the World Tag League starting this weekend too.
Yes, Sunday is going to be the start of both tournaments, and it'll be a 10-match card, which is probably the biggest New Japan card in terms of quantity of matches that they've had in quite a while. And you got the reigning champions, World Tag League champions, Juice Robinson, David Finlay. They're up there first, and then you have Tai Chi and Zack Sabre. They're the current champions, IWGP champions. But then you got the Gorillas of Destinies, who are perennial favorites in any New Japan tag tournament. They're up there too. Goto and Yoshihashi are currently never openweight 6-man champions. Their partner in that effort is Tomohiro Ishii at the bottom. You got the return of Bad Luck Fale in this tournament. Also interesting, the bottom right corner, Will Ospreay's Empire faction is represented by the Great Khan and a mystery person. The rumors out there is that it might be Jeff Cobb. So SpongeBob for that, but that's, F4W Online has informed me of that. So
Could be CM Punk.
Always could be CM Punk.
Could be Crazy Steve's monkey. You never know. All right, so we got a great weekend of New Japan coming up. Anything else? Ring of Honor, NWA. I know the tag team champions is NWA. We'll bring that out there real quick. Get on the graphic for it, but
yeah, NWA tonight on Primetime Live. Eli Drake and Cowboy James Storms defend the titles against Aaron Stevens and the question mark. To be or not to be, that is the question mark. We'll see how that turns out. James Storm notably was at Bound for Glory. Not sure if that's an indication of his contract status with NWA or anything, but it does seem that those NWA contracts are running out. So,
yep,
interesting. And then on the Ring of Honor side, there's kind of business as usual. They don't have a big event or anything announced, so a couple singles matches each week.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds like it's a busy weekend with New Japan. NWA tag titles on the line tonight. And we are going to kick you off the screen momentarily. We are going to bring in John Smith and John DeConi back. Back on. I gotta get that off. There we go. That's what I want to get off before I do this. So 1, 2, 3. Everybody's back in their normal homes again. Hopefully my screen does not freeze. Hopefully little Johnny doesn't come running in. Hopefully
he's way too far away right now to come running back in the house. So I hope I drop him off at the right spot this time.
All right, so kind of a interesting episode of NXT this past Wednesday. It was main evented by Tommaso Ciampa and the Velveteen Dream. John DeConi, this main event of the takeover, this is totally main event quality. It just seems like this was, I don't know the story. So Dream got him with the cast. I don't know. It was something weird about this to me. It was a great match, though.
Yeah, it was an excellent match. It started out with, and you mentioned this last week, just have to mention Ciampa's ring gear. That is just, it is so cool. It's a little bit futuristic Mad Max hellscape. It's a little bit steampunk. And it's a little bit ancient Roman Praetorian Guard. It's nutty, and of course he's fantastic, so that he sells it all the way. And of course, Dream was in his Rodzilla outfit, complete with his leather goopaline, and apparently wrestling under the Cowboy Bob Orton rules because he's wrestling with a hard cast on.
Yeah, yep.
So these two beat the hell out of each other inside the ring and out. Dream went for a chair, didn't wind up getting used, but he did go for a top rope dive. I don't know if he was looking for a double axe handle or whatnot, but instead he met with Ciampa's jumping knee, which Ciampa then used to roll him into the rope drape to hit the Willow's Bell. Fairy tale ending followed. 1, 2, 3. Hell of a match between those two.
And the fun thing is, the third member of this party, Kushida got he got the win over both of them. And then actually going right into Kushida, he had a match with Cameron Grimes and John Smith, if I'm saying this correctly. Zombie stress disorder.
Oh yeah, Cameron Grimes does a real good job of playing that one up. That the referee that was the zombie in the Halloween match comes to the ring when the other ref gets knocked out, and he just flipped his bleep. It was pretty good, and I mean the match overall was just a great wrestling match, and then the way it ended with the ref coming out and Cameron Grimes getting all spooked. I can't say enough good things about this guy. And Kushida, I mean, I hope one day he can start cutting promos. I don't know how good he is at English, but either that or get him a mouthpiece because he needs to be going places too.
Yeah. Well, I think he doesn't know English. If he gets a mouthpiece, like it's only just gonna make things worse. Like it's hard enough to talk with a mouthpiece, and then when you're not speaking English, like I don't.
Gotta be more specific, John.
Yeah. Timothy Thatcher. Timothy Thatcher. I had another Thatch Can in-ring session. He was going over the reversal of the choke that the kid had on him 2 weeks prior. He was choking the windpipe. You're supposed to do the carotid arteries. That's what makes you pass out. That's the legal wrestling rule. So he's showing us how to reverse that. The student got abusive. He got abusive on the student again, and then the original student. I don't know these guys' names. So Thatcher is being the abusive teacher, and the students are fighting back. So maybe this is the way to get these guys. They're obviously on TV, but maybe get them into a role in the company. Who knows?
So it's Akeem and August Gray.
There you go. Thank you, Ryan. Speaking of Ryan, I got Tony Storm and Shotzi Blackheart now. Shotzi's, I guess, reward or payment or whatever it was you wanted to call for being the host of Halloween Havoc is that she could fight anyone she wanted. And she chose to fight her idol, someone who she's looked up to in Tony Storm, who's actually 4 years younger than Shotzi. And this is like an R-Truth. I had to look this up when they said that. I was like, wait a minute. Shotzi, I guess, I don't know.
Well,
they had a great match, regardless.
Bad choice. I mean, I love Tony Storm, but Shotzi could have picked an easier road for herself. I think Casey Catanzaro was available.
Oh, you don't go to Jersey, no. Casey would have smoked her.
August Gray was probably available.
There you go. Thank you.
But noticeably, she did not pick Candice LeRae, and I think Candice was upset about this. Fortunately for Shotzi, Candice identified the location of her missing tank. Unfortunately for her, she couldn't stop the oncoming traffic. In fact, she got in the vehicle and actually ran over Shotzi's tank. All of this, Shotzi lost the match to Tony Storm. Then Shotzi absolutely lost it. I've never seen anybody so upset over losing a title, losing a tank, losing a friend. That's what you look like?
No, but here's the thing. The funny thing is, because when I was trying to call a BS on this whole age thing, where Shotzi's looking up to Tony, but Tony's like 4 years younger, I saw the significance of the tank on her Wikipedia page. I mean, she got it from some kind of band called Awful, and it's spelled AWEFUL. It's like Shotzi's favorite band, and they specifically made this tank for her independent run or whatever. That was the other part of her independent run. We all know what the first part was with the pictures and stuff. But those crappy pictures that she was doing.
Oops, McGee.
Yeah, this tank meant this was legit. And it was actually kind of funny how I found this. Like, that's why she's. Oh, the tank's dead. Like oh my god, she's gonna freak. So
needless to say, Shotzi didn't get the W, and she lost her tank, and she's very upset about it. Candice LeRae and Shotzi down the road.
Yeah, a little bit of a not a very face thing to do by Tony Storm to roll up an opponent who's suffering because her tank was kicked out. I'm like, wow, Tony, that was a little rough.
She consoled her
I guess Shotzi was blaming Tony originally for taking the tank, but that was a little rough. And then under the women's division match, Dakota Kai defeated Ember Moon after quote-unquote timely intervention, thank you, Wade Barrett, by Raquel Gonzalez. A little distraction, and then she did like a draping go to sleep with a riot kick to put down Ember Moon. So great job by Dakota Kai. Nice win, big win right there. That was absolutely huge. Going into tonight, they actually staying with the women's division. Xia Li got another letter. We're hearing that this is not business. This is her family. This is a personal matter. And I guess this letter saying that Raquel Gonzalez, when she came out the other week when Xia Li was fighting Casey Catanzaro in a losing effort, because that's what Jersey girls do. They make losers out of people. We'll discuss that later with the Knockouts title. But anyway, I digress. Where were we? Raquel Gonzalez. Yeah, Raquel Gonzalez disrespected Xia Li and her family, so Xia Li's got to go take out Raquel Gonzalez. Easier said than done, John Smith.
Much easier said than done. And in most other situations, I would say that Xia Li would take this, but given the current angle, I got to go with Gonzalez.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Raquel Gonzalez as well. This is a tall order, and I have an idea, which I will get to shortly. John DeConnie?
Yeah, I agree. Looks like Xia is going to continue to upset her family and continue on her losing streak.
All right, Ryan Joy?
Yeah. Xia should master Casey first. Sorry to bring her name up again.
No, it's we'll bring this up now. Actually, I have the graph. Okay, they have not mentioned War Games yet, and this is getting very upsetting to me because now we're less than 2 weeks away. You have it on the men's side real easy. You have the Undisputed Era, and you have the Kings of NXT. We'll get to them in a second. You can do Team Shotzi and Team Candice, and here they are right here. You can put Toni Storm, you can put Ember Moon in there, and then Xia Li with this, because they have the feuds are over there, and we're going to make a dumb assumption that the stream one with Candice is Indy Hartwell. That's a dumb assumption, but probably a correct one. Then you can put Kai and Raquel Gonzalez as well, because they have the feud with Ember, and now Xia Li with that match going for. This couldn't be set up any more perfect. John Smith, as our senior NXT correspondent, do you approve of this?
I definitely approve of this. I can't see it going any other way if they do a women's match. Hey, do.
Hey.
Shotzi.
Yep. And then, actually, the thing is, this takes, which is on purpose, and they've already been discussing Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. So, like, those two are not even in that match, and it still works out perfectly. So, hopefully that will... we can start doing this starting tomorrow night. Like I'm sitting here waiting for Regal. You know what Regal does every year. That just excites me. I love it. Speaking of wheels. Okay, sorry. Now I'm sorry. I had such a smooth transition before. I thought somebody said wheel. Anyway, Johnny Gargano apparently loves wheels. Apparently, the rumor going around. See, there we go. The rumor was going around that Johnny Gargano did not like wheels. Turns out that Johnny loves wheels. He was actually doing very good in the game of life against his stream person, which I think a dumb assumption again is Austin Theory, but that one I don't think is as obvious as Indy Hartwell. But Johnny said that he wants to put the title on the line, doesn't care who's against. I guess he's got an opponent picked. I forget how the situation came out, but it was also proven out. We talked about this in pre-production. He's like the Sasha Banks of NXT, apparently, John Smith. He's never defended a title. I guess we talked about it, and maybe it's true.
I never knew that, but if they're going to say that on the TV, then it has to be true.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Well, that would be. Yeah, that would be. So who do you got? I guess who do you think the mystery part is? I don't remember. I think is this. And is this an open challenge, I guess, or does Johnny have somebody handpicked? I cannot remember.
Open challenge, maybe it's Dexter.
That's exactly where I was going with it.
I think it's handpicked.
We didn't see him last week, so he's got to do something this week.
Ryan Joy, you chimed in. What was that?
I think it's a handpicked opponent.
Is it? I kind of think so, too.
Okay.
Well, I would love for Dexter Loomis to maybe come out at the end of this, and then this is what's set up for Takeover next week.
Maybe he picks Drake Maverick because he's an easy target, and then Killian Dane gets involved.
Yeah.
If it was a true open challenge, I think Dexter's a good pick. I also like Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
For the route they're going, but.
John DeConnie, I guess we're all in agreement here that the Gargano retains for the first time ever. So next week, I'm going to, instead of Sasha Banks, they're going to open up with the Ann Still for the first time. Johnny Gargano, huh?
Yeah. I believe he said at the table there with his Scream Mask buddy that he's going to defend against a worthy opponent, which makes me believe that he's going to handpick them, which led me to agree with John Smith that I thought it was going to be Drake Maverick.
Speaking of Drake Maverick, I got this one right. All right, Drake Maverick and Killian Dane, they fought Everrise, which ended with a no contest because the Kings of NXT, the newly christened the Kings of NXT, they came out and jumped everybody that was in the ring. A couple funny things on this. Everrise was celebrating like they won. They were going up the ramp like they won the match. That was funny. But if they can somehow... before we get to the Kings of NXT, but if they can somehow come up with some kind of arsenal of like moves that Killian Dane uses Drake Maverick as a weapon, like he made the hard tag with Drake's scream, which was hysterical, and then he threw him into his legs that tripped him, and then he body. Killian Dane just needs to use Drake Maverick as a weapon as much as possible, and I think it would be absolutely incredible. But going forward with the Kings of NXT, They took their shot. Pat McAfee talks longer than I do. God damn. But they were trying to burn the Undisputed Era flag. Yada yada. Undisputed Era still nowhere to be found. But Oni and Danny got to put the tag titles on the line next week against Breezango. I guess the champs get their. I don't know if they get the rematch. That's not a thing anymore. But it seems like they're getting the rematch clause in effect here. John Smith. I don't like betting against Breezango, but this is a 0 out of 10 to me.
Oh yeah, this is champs taking it home all the way. No matter what happens, it could be a DQ for Breezango, but they're not winning the titles back.
Yeah, John DeConnie.
Yeah, agreed. Stays with Lorcan and Birch.
And Ryan Joy, you want to make it unanimous?
Yeah, the Kings, and I don't think it's going to be much of a match. I think it's going to be destruction.
Okay, so our last segment here, we are going into we own tonight. So Impact. Before we get into Turning Point, we got a lot to talk about with Impact. We got a couple matches tonight to pick, so we'll use these matches. We'll stretch. We'll warm up. Make sure our hammies are nice and loose, and our groins are lustful, I guess. I don't know what. Anyway. So last Tuesday, Chris Bay defeated Trey Miguel with that leaping cutter that he does from the middle turnbuckle where he flies halfway across the ring, which is absolutely incredible. He was then later on, he approached Rich Swann about getting a title match. Swan says he has to earn it. I guess beating Trey Miguel, that's one thing. But here comes Eddie Edwards. So we're going to do Chris Bay against Eddie Edwards tonight. Now Eddie Edwards and Rich Swann are buddies, and this is a worthy opponent for Chris Bay. If Chris Bay can get the job done here, there might be a future title shot for him, John DeConnie.
Yeah, I believe so, and I think I'm going to go with Bay winning here because I think it's too easy to just have Shamrock or Callahan, somehow get involved here and cost Eddie the match, continue that feud, and then Bay gets to move on to what should be some stellar matches with the champ, Swan.
All right. Brian Joy?
Yeah, same. I think this is great. Chris Bay's getting elevated into a main event picture just by having a match with Eddie Edwards. This is 1 month before the Super J Cup, too. So,
yeah, get him rolling with that. John Smith?
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's definitely the same.
Yeah, all right. I like Chris Bay as well. Like I said, he liked one of my tweets, so I'm always going to go with Chris Bay here. I love, I'm loving Impact more and more every week. I thought my bit was a little bit funnier than Dreamer's was last week, but whatever. These are the 10 people who that Tommy Dreamer has narrowed down for who shot John E. Bravo. Wow. A little delayed on that one. That's my bad. But yeah, these are the 10. I guess a couple of questions I have here. Is anybody checking on Rosemary to see if she's okay? Her husband just got shot.
I think she's the lead suspect.
Yeah, she's a suspect. How heartless
And
is
the
that?
better question I have is why does she look like she's okay?
Life insurance.
The kids are not officially.
She has some kind of a nefarious plan here. If you remember correctly, Taya came to her last minute to try and help her get out of the wedding altogether. And she said, I've got a much better plan for him than leaving him at the altar.
Yeah.
And I stopped the screen to look. She was twirling a card in her hand.
Yeah, it was a death card. Yeah, it was a death card.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's something weird. There's something about, like I said, this whole sacrificing a virgin thing. They just beat that into the ground last week. But anyway, so unfortunately, Crazy Steve's Monkey and Rikishi have been taken off the list. They're not suspects anymore.
That monkey's still on my list. I don't give a shit.
So going forward, not sure why Scott D'Amore won't let Heath sign the contract if he's not healthy. Am I missing something with this? I don't understand. D'Amore said he'd help with the rehab, yada yada yada. So, what's the holdup here, John McConney?
Beats me. I don't understand.
Why does it need to be? Why can't he just sign him and put him on IR? Like that's
Exactly. I guess it's more fun to watch Heath limp around every week and pretend like he's okay.
Ryan.
He's on the official Impact roster on the website. So if he hasn't signed a contract, he should get a lawyer.
Or barista. Or one of
Or
the
a
barristers.
barista. Yeah.
One of those barristers from Starbucks.
There's one
If you're gonna go the
around
barrister
area.
If you're gonna go the barrister route, though, you got to go all the way and get the one with the powdered wig.
Yes. Chris Sabin shot a promo on Triple XL for attacking Alex Shelley. Shelley is on IR. He did something pretty crazy. I forget what the actual injury is, but they played it off that he was injured at Bounce for Glory at the hands of the North attack on the entrance ramp. Sabin's going to go it alone. That looks like Big AC right there. AC 1-1 in singles action right now, John McConney.
Yes, indeed. I think Sabin's going to take this. I'm not quite sure how he's going to take the big man down. I'm not sure if he's got I know he's got a lot of flip, flop, and fly in him. I don't know if he's got a submission in his arsenal, but I see Sabin taking this one.
I'm not going to bet against Chris Sabin. Ryan Joy?
I'm gonna bet against Chris Sabin.
Wow.
AC Romero's lost 100 pounds in the last few months. I think he's gonna get a push.
John Smith.
Yeah, I'll go with Romero.
All right. John, I smiled and thought of you. Johnny Swinger with the huge win over Cody Deaner last week. Absolutely incredible. Hit him with the loaded fanny pack as only Johnny Swinger would be able to do. Great job by the swing man. Don't forward, speaking of just crazy, silly matches, so we have did I forget the graphic? I forgot. Was that them? Yeah, I forgot the graphic. Anyway, so we got Falaba and Crazy Steve teaming together. So you got Falaba, who was Johnny's best man, and Crazy Steve, who actually, I forgot to bring this up, but he walked Rosemary down the aisle at the wedding. I'm like, that is just so poetic and so awesome to hear Crazy Steve with the Marilyn Manson Decay music again. That was just, where was the best when we needed him? Now he's with Styles, right? So we got those two going against Reno Scum, John Smith. Those are your boys, Reno Scum.
Yeah, I'll go with my boys.
All right, Ryan.
Crazy Steve and Falaba in their first ever tag team match. I'll pick them.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna go crazy, Steve. The monkey might get. Monkey might be drunk again. John,
Yeah, I mean, give me that odd couple.
and a lot of this has to do just just serious plotline wise, freaking Impact. Falaba has Hernandez's money, so Reno Scum was probably hired by Hernandez to get his money back. That's why. Now, how crazy Steve fits in all this, I have no idea.
How Falaba hasn't spent that money yet, I don't understand either.
Well, he's just keeping it close to his heart, I guess. Another riveting episode of Locker Room Talk. Looked like Madison Rayne was playing the matchmaker with Jordan Grace and Tennille Dashwood, who just killed each other pretty much, in the best 2 out of 3 series, so to speak. Jordan was buying into it. She's like, you know what? You took me to the limit. You beat me twice. We can be the tag team champions. And Tennille's like, I'll take Madison. So making Jordan Grace look really stupid right then and there. So they're going to have their first match together. We got Tennille Dashwood and Madison Rayne coming out from behind the announce desk, a former 2-time Knockouts champion, tag team champion, excuse me. She's a 5-time Knockouts champion, but a 2-time tag team champion, and going against Havoc and Nevaeh, who are a very well-established tag team, Ryan Joy.
Yeah, well-established, but doesn't have the best win-loss record. I'm going to go with the new team again. Madison and Tennille.
All right, John Smith.
Yeah, I'll go with Madison and Tennille, since Tennille just came back, so they got to keep her strong.
All right, John DeConnie.
Yeah, if you're going to put them together and put them into the tournament, you might as well let them start off 1-0.
All right, see, I'm going to go again. Here we go. I'm going to go against this. I think Havoc and Nevaeh are going to get the win. I think Rayne's going to get pinned. I feel like Tennille and Jordan, they're going to end up in this tournament together. The tournament, I believe, starts in 2 weeks. So, or maybe it's tonight. No, last week it was 2. So next week it starts. It starts after Turning Point, right? So I got a funny feeling it's going to end up being Tennille and Jordan together in this thing. So I'm going to go with Nevaeh and Havoc. And I'm sure Caleb with a K will not be happy with those photographs. And then the Defeat Road Heat Challenge was interrupted by TJP. Very spirited arguments from both guys. Both guys, they scratched and clawed and yada, yada, yada. D'Amore booked the match. If Road Heat wins, TJP cannot challenge the X Division title while Road Heat is champion. So it's pretty much the same as the Cody stipulation, except Road Heat isn't ever losing the title. So pretty much TJP will never again challenge for the X Division championship after this match. Because Road Heat's not losing, ever. John DeConnie.
I hate to disagree with you, and I hope he does find a way out of this, but because Rohit's not on the Turning Point card yet, I'm thinking TJP takes it here and their rematch gets added to the Turning Point card.
All right. That's valid. John Smith?
I can't go against Rohit after he keeps winning, so I'm going with Rohit.
I'm going with Rohit as well, Ryan Joy.
Yeah, I mean, per you guys, Rohit is the Bruno Sammartino of the X Division. So I guess I'll pick him as well.
All right, so that will do it for Impact. There is one more match, but we're going to prelim it with Turning Point. So let me get that situated right there. We're going to go into Turning Point. Here are our standings going into Turning Point. As we saw from Full Gear, Ryan with the perfect pay-per-view jumps over Tyler. I believe he's ahead of Tyler anyway. But John McConney is officially up my ass right now, 2 points behind. After Full Gear, John Smith not too much farther behind as well. Ryan is catching up to us. Tyler, he's starting to pick again, so maybe he'll get some points here with Impact because he doesn't really chime in with Impact all that much. I can see Tyler down there with 4-3. I think he did Slammiversary. John DeConnie, Ryan Joy, both at 17 and 10. John got the extra point. Ahead of him, though, I'm steady at 18 and 9. John Smith, he'll get over 500 when you start off 1 and 9 or whatever he did at Slammiversary.
Yeah,
he brought it back to within 500. That is pretty impressive. So please pay attention to what John Smith has to say nowadays. So here are the scoring system for Turning Point. It's 5 points for the Impact Championship, 3 points for all other title matches, 1 point for the non-title matches. Anything on the pre-show will not count. And just like Ryan Joy got at Full Gear, if you go Henning and get everything correct, you get a bonus 5 points. So Doc Gallows defeated Ethan Page. Why isn't this working? There we go. Doc Gallows defeated Ethan Page with a super kick last week, and then a fight broke out post-match between the North and the Good Brothers. Tonight, we got Karl Anderson and Josh Alexander, so we have alliteration everywhere. Again, I'm not going to go through that whole spiel like I did with whatever what was that called? Victory Road. But then the big match on Saturday night, and this is the one that we're going to be picking, the Impact Tag Team Championships will be on the line. The North defending against the Good Brothers, John DeConnie as our senior Impact correspondent. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Good Brothers here. I think it's time they kick out of somebody's finisher and take the gold.
What's wrong with my mouse? Ryan Joy.
I agree. Since the Good Brothers were not announced for the World Tag League, I think they're going to complete their trifecta.
Okay, John Smith.
It's hard to go against the North with their track record, but I think it's all led up to the Good Brothers getting those titles. So unless, they're holding off for some reason, I got to go with them. So, yeah.
Here we go again. Okay, so I'm taking the North. We got Gallows winning last week. I'm going to have Anderson win tonight, which means the North win Saturday, right? If they're not going to win the singles matches, they win the tag matches. They're better tag team.
It's Impact.
It is Impact. I know.
If we were picking these tomorrow and that scenario did take place, then I'd completely agree with you. But yeah. I think the North takes it tonight, which leads to the Good Brothers taking it on Saturday.
Okay.
By the way, Karl Anderson is a heck of a singles wrestler, but this might be a real coming out party for him because he hasn't been able to really demonstrate that in the last couple of years. But he's got a good opponent tonight.
Yeah, it should be a really great match. I won't say main event. I think the matches. Yeah, probably. Now Chris Bay and Eddie Edwards are probably main event. Moose, the Moose promo. He talked about how he's tired of being looked at as the second best with a fake title. Since he's beaten the really big names, and he controlled the narrative with EC3. So he's going to go after Rich Swann, but before he goes after Rich Swann, he's going to take out Swann's best friend, Willie Mack, and they're going to go at it Saturday night. Willie Mack with the greatest entrance music in wrestling today. What do you got?
Yeah, I can't pick Willie Mack as much as I want to. No, I gotta go with Moose.
No, I can't pick Willie Mack either. John DeConnie?
Exactly. I don't know exactly what they're doing with this leftover title anymore, but it stays with Moose until something interesting comes up to take it from him.
Ryan Joy.
Yeah, Willie Mack's lost the last 5 matches. This just makes 6. He was 11-0, and then he lost 5 matches.
That poor guy had a great record, and he lost the X Division title, and his life fell apart.
I'll note, though, this is a non-title match. It's not advertised for the TNA Championship.
Not that title is recognized. Even if it wasn't the TNA Championship, this was only a 1-point match. That title is not recognized. It looks like Swaggle's going to be around for a little bit to promote his new book. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's Life is Short and So Am I. Actually, I think that's it. So why not get bullied by Brian Myers while you're here? Brian Myers poked some fun at him, pushed him down in a backstage interview, so they are going to go at it. Myers not happy that Swoggle came out of a garbage can and used grill tongs on his nuts. John Smith, who do you got?
This is just a regular match, right? No stipulations?
Not that I'm aware of. Ryan, any stipulations?
No.
All right. I'm going to go with Swoggle.
All right. John DeConnie.
Yeah, I see Dreamer popping up in this to teach Myers a little bit of a lesson, and Swoggle gets his hand raised.
All right, Ryan.
I'm going to go Myers.
Thank you. Don't do this to me again. I'm going Brian Myers also.
Yeah, I just feel like the most professional wrestlers can come away with this one.
Yeah, it's not going to. By the way, it's not going to shock me at all if Swoggle wins this. I'm not going to. I just think that Myers Swan goes there to promote a book. He's not there, and have fun and horse around and whatnot. He's not there to, and it's going to be a funny match. It's going to be a very fun, entertaining match because Myers works in an entertainment company up north. That's all they do is sell out. Myers used to work for them, so Myers knows how to do that.
The land of the entertainers.
Yes. And then, so the Knockouts Championship match from last week didn't really go on as planned. Kimberly threw a chair into the ring for Deanna to use behind the referee's back. Ended up getting intercepted and used by Su Yung in front of the referee's face, causing a disqualification. Deanna got the win, but Su Yung kept the belt. So Deanna Purrazzo's barrister decided to sit down with Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore hates this guy, so they booked them in a no disqualification match for the Knockouts Championship. Other than the fact that Deanna Purrazzo needs to send this guy back to Starbucks, where you can go make some coffee. Who do you got in this one, Ryan Joy?
I guess I'll pick Deanna. I feel like the belt is always going to go back to her. I think that Su Yung getting the championship was sort of a last-minute call that they made at the last pay-per-view, so I think they're just going to get back on track and put it back on Deanna. I think we lost Al.
Yeah, I think we lost Al.
I assume we go to one of you next.
Let's go counterclockwise, and I will agree with Ryan and say, I had Deanna getting her belt back last week, so might as well do it this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there. Definitely. I don't see what Su Yung out of nowhere just gets it, then she's just gonna keep it like that. I don't think so. So I definitely agree with you guys.
We really locked down now.
Oh wow!
Wow.
I'm pretty sure the only match that we have left to pick is the championship match.
Correct.
Which is Rich Swann versus Sami Callihan. No, there's no match.
There's Al.
Welcome back, boss man.
Yeah, right. Sunny and no nothing, huh?
Oh, now that worked a little bit.
Yeah, seems like
who do you have in the Deanna Purrazzo and Su Yung match?
Yeah, come on. I put Deanna Purrazzo on my site like 3 weeks ago, whatever it was.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, it's 72 and sunny in Jersey. There's not a cloud in the sky right now. I'm not exactly sure why I'm having Wi-Fi problems. But, okay, so everybody got their picks in. That's great. I apologize for that. So we're going to the Impact World Championship. Sami Callihan and Eric Young defeated Rich Swann and Eddie Edwards after interference by Shamrock. Everybody pretty much called that. Those three crazy bastards running around. That's not good for anybody. And then now it's going to turn into where we are. There we go. It's going to turn into Sami Callihan challenging Rich Swann for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to have a little bit of an issue here because Sami Callihan likes to drop the title to women. So I guess if you're picking Callihan, please pick the knockout to dethrone him, John McConney.
No danger there. I'm going to go with Rich Swann retaining.
Did I even put the graphic up for Deanna and Su Yung? I think I did.
Yeah, we saw that.
Brian Joy, who do you got?
Well, I'm also going to dodge that bullet, unlike Bravo. But but it's fun to think about what knockout might beat him. So I'm still going to pick Rich Swann, but I'll give the knockout to Su Yung.
Okay, so if Sami Callihan wins, it's going to be Su Yung that beats him for the title. Okay, gotcha. I'm going to Rich Swann as well. Did I miss anything? John Smith.
Yeah, Rich Swann.
Alrighty. So that will do it. If there are any more matches signed tonight for Turning Point, they will be on ProWrestlingPick'em.com ASAP as the show is going on. It does not take me long to get them up there. So please make sure you chime in and play against us. We love There's actually, I will always put our standings up here. There is a guy by the name of Jushin Liger who is actually winning the pool, beating all of us right now. I'm not sure if it is the actual Jushin Thunder Liger from Japanese wrestling, the legendary Jushin Thunder Liger. But
wouldn't it be?
He retired from wrestling.
So we're going to go to number 20 on my top 30 all-time favorite WrestleMania matches. Just a real quick, we're now 20 weeks away from WrestleMania 37. When we get to 1, we'll be on WrestleMania week. It should be a great time. Here's a quick little recap of what I've done so far since we're on an even number here. We had Tito and the Executioner 30, Jericho and Fandango from WrestleMania 29 at 29. The WWE Tag Team Championship match from WrestleMania 19. It was a triple team match. That's number 28. The Iconics winning the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships at number 27. MVP and Chris Benoit. And a lot of people sleep on that match. That match was absolutely phenomenal for the United States Championship at WrestleMania 23. And then we got number 25, Warrior Savage with the career on the line. The Money in the Bank ladder match, the first one from WrestleMania 21. Edge, Jericho, Christian, Benoit, King, and Shelton Benjamin. Mr. Shelton Benjamin just shined that match. The Triple Threat Women's Championship match from WrestleMania 19. The Triple Threat Hardcore Championship match from 17, which was absolutely hysterical. Kane driving a golf cart. Cannot beat that. Except if you're Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship. Probably, arguably, you can put it, if you're actually going to judge the greatest WWE Championship matches in WrestleMania history, that match has to be in the conversation. I know, the Iron Man match or whatever, Eddie and Kurt have to be on there as well. But going on to number 20, we are going to go way back, hop in your time machines. We're going to go back to WrestleMania 5. I know the Mega Powers exploded that night, but this is not that match. This is a technical match that was probably way before their time. It's not the greatest match of all time, but when you have Mr. Perfect and the Blue Blazer, for those of you who do not speak WrestleMania 5 or 1989, that's Owen Hart. So you got Mr. Perfect versus Owen Hart at WrestleMania 5. It was probably a quick 7-minute match. Owen got some flips here and there. You didn't really see that style back then. So it was something new. Jesse Ventura on commentary. Before the match even started, I believe the Blazer was getting into the ring, and Ventura was like, this is the one I'm looking forward to. This is the match that's going to steal the show. Whether it did or not, who knows? That's always arguable as well. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Maybe Warrior Rude with that debacle with Rick Rude winning the Intercontinental title. But, yeah, Mr. Perfect was fresh. I think this was the first match he debuted distinctly. He was wrestling in the shorts up until that point. Because Ventura made it a point to mention that. Owen Hart tried for a crucifix pin. Perfect barely kicked out at 2. Got up. Owen was beefing with the ref. Thought it was 3. Turns around. Gets cold cocked by Perfect. Picks him up. Perfect plex. And the Perfect record stayed intact. So we are going to, I don't have to change any graphics. We'll put the banners on the bottom. How about this? There we go. Get the ticker going. We haven't had it going all show. A couple things real quick to say the primetime rundown. There we go. It's powered by StreamYard with Joey Jarzenka, Ian Schreier, and Rob DeLuca. Is back at 6 o'clock on Fridays, as far as I know. I know this went to 7 o'clock a little bit. I'm pretty sure they're back at 6, or else they probably would have sent me a new graphic by now. But for those of you who like their non-scripted sports, this is the place to be. So make sure you check them out on all the Eastern Observer outlets and Facebook pages, as well as the I-95 Sports Network on YouTube. Ryan Joy, this past week you previewed Power Struggle and Full Gear with the Body Slam Brigade.
Yeah, and Full Gear was, lived up to everything. If people have not seen Full Gear, I know we talked about it at the top of the show, but it was an excellent, excellent, excellent show. And I talked about that in the Body Slam Brigade leading up to it. So I also started last week a actual news column in there, which I hadn't done before. So before it was really just a letter. Now it's a newsletter. And with the start of the Daily Wrestling News Show, I thought it was only proper to incorporate news into the newsletter.
Yeah, we might as well just jump the gun. I'm going to put this a little bit at the end. But yeah, Ryan Joy on Monday morning, November 23rd. Everybody's going to be waking up after a wonderful Survivor Series show that I cannot wait for. I love the Survivor Series. At 10 a.m., you're going to get your morning cup of joy with the Daily Wrestling News Show, which will start, again, like I said, Monday, November 23rd, 10 a.m., on all the Eastern Observer outlets and the I-95 sports networks, and on Zingo TV channel 198. Ryan, you're going to be on Zingo as well, so get excited.
I am, and hopefully you sit down with your coffee, enjoy the show, and hopefully you don't get hit with a steel chair like the graphic shows.
We're going to have our Survivor Series special before the Survivor Series. It's going to be on Saturday, November 21st. So it's going to be a jam-packed weekend as far as the Eastern Observer and the World Wrestling Entertainment Company, their brand of wrestling. You got the primetime rundown on Friday. You got the Survivor Series special on Saturday. You got the wrestling show Saturday night and Sunday night, all into Ryan's new show on Monday morning. So make sure you tune it into to all of it on the Eastern Observer platforms, on the Pro Wrestling Pick'em platforms, minutestobelltime.com, and of course on Zingo TV channel 198. Join us back here next week, episode 28, at all this viewing options. I just say we're here at 6 p.m. every Tuesday. We have not changed. We don't plan on changing anytime soon. And also, one last bit, a serious bit. I know we kind of make fun of Tyler a lot, with where he's at right now. But something serious, Tyler, I guess his sister's more running it right now than he is. But him and his sister Ashley made endless efforts during the COVID-19 pandemic to help others in need. They've made care packages to help the homeless population on Long Island. These items include socks, deodorant, chapstick, rain ponchos, shampoo, snack bars, and plenty more. Each bag costs $15, and they've already raised over $500 and counting. So for more information on how to donate, please go to theeasternobserver.com, or you can find Tyler at Tyler Adele2 on Twitter. Please at him if you would like to help out the homeless in Long Island during the holiday season. It is a great cause that Tyler and his sister Ashley are doing while Tyler's away at proctology college. It's kind of tough making fun of Tyler and making jokes about Tyler when he's doing something so great. And,
I was going to say something about it when you said John DeConnie was right up your ass on the standings. I was going to say, you got to go over there and spend some time with Tyler.
I was hoping we were never going to mention that again.
And then one last thing. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. Just a real quick. We would not be here. We would not be free without the veterans, without the people who have served our country. So thank you so much. Enjoy your holiday tomorrow. God knows you've earned it. And God knows you're a better man than I am, because I remember I wanted to go play paintball when I was 14, and I was dead within 5 minutes of every game. So I'm not cut out for the military. Most people aren't. So thank you so much for all that you've done for making this country, even though it is somewhat in shambles right now. It is a great country. I'm proud to be American. I know we all are. And we are happy to be free. So for now, yeah.
Yeah.
Save that for Ryan's show. Let Ryan get booted off the air for politics. So thank you so much for joining us, episode 27. For John Smith, for Ryan Joy, Alexa Bliss. I am so sorry last week. I can't believe you forgot. I'm so sorry. Alexa Bliss, we love you. Tegan Knox, get well soon. We miss you. I would love to have seen her in War Games this year if that happens. She needs a do-over after what happened to her last year. That was crap. I almost cried. Great heel turn, but I wanted her in the match. John DeConnie, take it home.
Thanks for joining us, and as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors. Happy 245th birthday, United States Marine Corps.
1, 2, 3, 4. I love Marine